The more time you spend thinking about doing a specific action or activity, the more time you give your brain to think up a stupid excuse that will get you out of doing it. You see, our brains are always looking for sneaky ways to get us out of doing hard and productive tasks. Well, today that stops. I'm going to be sharing with you why we as humans procrastinate consistently and how you can actually do something different to help you stop. You see, we all actually want to do these harder tasks and the more productive tasks like working out, like reading, like studying, and generally building better habits. But we don't do it because our brains are trying to find ways to prevent us from doing it because it involves pain. And like I said before, the one thing that is going to prevent us from doing it is the thought of pain or discomfort involved in that task when we do it. So we just go back to avoiding them for as long as possible. We revert back to old bad habits like watching Netflix and comparing ourselves to people on social media that have what we want, but we aren't willing to do the work that it takes to get there. But what you must realize is that there's no secret way to just becoming disciplined or never procrastinating again. There are specific steps that you can take to get there, but they won't happen overnight. You also have to realize that there is no stage in the journey where you will just never procrastinate again. You will have ups and downs along the way in every single part of the journey, no matter if you're at the start or near the end. There is no real end of the journey, but just to keep building consistency and keep up with not procrastinating by keeping yourself busy and occupied with productive tasks. So the next time you find yourself procrastinating, I want you to follow these 3 steps. Number 1, identify that you actually are procrastinating and become aware of your situation. Number 2, ask yourself why you are procrastinating and the purpose behind what you're doing. And number 3, ask yourself, how long have you been procrastinating for? If you don't really have a reason or purpose behind why you are procrastinating and you're just doing it to get out of reality and you have been doing it for longer than 10 minutes, I want you to take a 5-minute break. And during that 5-minute break, you cannot procrastinate with a screen in front of you. You could go outside and go for a walk. You could simply get a glass of water, go to the toilet, go outside and just sit down or do whatever. It doesn't really matter what you do with that 5 minutes. You could even do a task that is beneficial to you. It doesn't matter what you do with that 5 minutes, just as long as you're taking a break from your screen. Hopefully by just taking that 5-minute break, you're going to realize that procrastinating isn't going to do anything for you in the long run, and your time is better spent elsewhere. Once you actually start doing a so-called productive task, you're actually going to find that you start to enjoy it. And at the end of completing that productive task, you're going to find you feel a sense of accomplishment and achievement because you've actually done something good with your time instead of wasting it. So now that we have realized that we actually enjoy doing these hard productive tasks, you need to rewire your subconscious brain to thinking about doing the hard and the productive tasks first before you start procrastinating. This way, if you think of doing the productive task first before procrastinating, you're going to find that you start to enjoy that productive task and that you build that sense of achievement and belonging so that you actually find a purpose in what you're doing instead of there's no purpose in procrastinating. And the only reason we really procrastinate is because we are bored and we're trying to fill in time. So if you can keep your mind occupied with productive and good tasks that are actually going to benefit you, then you won't actually have time to procrastinate. Once you think about doing that hard productive task, you need to take action on it straight away, because the time that you spend not doing that task, once you have thought of it, is time that you're giving your brain to make up some stupid excuse about why you shouldn't do that task and making up the excuse so that you can get out of it. It always comes down to if you have an easy task or a hard task, the brain is always going to choose the easy task. So if you don't give your brain time to choose that easy task and you just choose the hard task and go for it straight away, you're eliminating that process of procrastination. The thing is, you actually enjoy doing the hard tasks more than you enjoy procrastinating. Most people think of the hard parts first, like the discomfort involved in what you're doing. So they just avoid it altogether. A little trick that I like to use is I'm just going to tell myself before I do something productive is that I'm going to take it easy today. I'm going to have a so-called rest day and just have a bit of a break, go through the motion and just start to do it. Once you actually get into the task, you find that you can actually push yourself a bit further because you've got over the initial barrier of actually starting, which is the most hardest part. And this is how you can actually rewire your brain into doing harder things first and thinking of them first so that you can eliminate procrastination forever. So put in the work now so you can enjoy the results in the future when you are not procrastinating but grinding it out like a powerhouse. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got complete and utter value from this video so that you can stop procrastinating for good. On this channel, I talk about teens and how they can improve themselves through their mindset and start to achieve goals that they actually want to achieve. If that sounds good to you, go down, hit the subscribe button, click here to watch my latest video. See you later.